Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro. And I want to talk about both of these and which one maybe you should pick up if you're interested in one, or what some of the differences are here. Because at base value, they have the same primary camera, the same selfie camera, they have the same chipset, the new Tensor G3, 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of security patches. Both of them have decent sized batteries, 4,500 milliamp, 5,000 milliamp, and yeah, I think at the core competency level, regardless of which one you get, you're going to have a same kind of day-to-day experience. Of course, you get a smaller screen over here. So if you want to dip down and you don't want the big 6.7 inch screen, 6.2, it's actually just under 6.2, but it rounds up. So 6.2 inches versus 6.7 inches. So same size as last year versus just slightly smaller than last year, which may make some people happy because traditionally with the smaller Pixel phones around 6 inches, I think a lot of people really like that form factor. I talk about that a lot because I don't necessarily like having a huge form factor. However, there are trade-offs. Like when you get the iPhone Pro series, you still get 3 cameras and you still basically get all the same stuff as the Pro Max. That's not quite the case here. You can see the camera module significantly smaller. That's because you don't get the telephoto. So you don't get the telephoto here, and you have last year's ultra-wide, same primary camera though, on both of them. So if you just want to snap some regular photos, they're going to be basically identical unless you go into the Pro settings, which is something that actually kind of irks me. So Pro settings is not really what you think it would be. Normally, if you take a look at Samsung, other phones, Pro settings, you can go in, you can mess with the focus, the ISO, a lot of the different variables and different settings to kind of get a manual shot. Really, all it really does is it gives you the capability to turn on and take full 50 megapixel photos. So it's a 50 megapixel primary camera, but it bends down to like 12. And you're stuck with that here. You can't export to RAW. You can't shoot in the 50 megapixel sensor. Really pisses me off. Because why? It's very arbitrary. I get it. Gorilla Glass Victus 1 versus Gorilla Glass Victus 2. You're paying extra money. Sure. 8 gigs of RAM, 12 gigs of RAM. Okay, sure. Pro series phone. Makes sense. But to just say, okay, Pro mode is you get RAW and you can shoot in the full 50 megapixel resolution. It's the same camera. You should have that option available in here. So that kind of irks me. Like, no telephoto? Okay, cool. We reserved that for the Pro Series model. Okay, cool. But, yeah, it's just the little things like that. It kind of irks me. But, anyway, I digress. I'm going to get off my soapbox on that one. Both of them 30-watt charging, 1080p resolution, and 120 hertz. This one you can do back and forth, though. So if you don't care for Quad HD+, if you want to use 1080p and you still want to use 120 hertz, you can actually save a little bit of battery, see if you even notice a difference, play a little game with yourself, have fun with it. Now, the biometrics, face unlock, fingerprint scanner on both of them, that's the same. Wireless charging, that's the same. So you're seeing a lot of the different similarities here are really there's not a whole lot of similarities. They're pretty much the same. And that's important. Now, if you want more storage, you're going to want to go with the Pro model because you can get 512 and 1 terabyte, whereas you're stuck to 128 and 256 here. Prices, that's always important. $300 price difference, $699, up $100 from last year. I got to be honest here. I wish it was still $599. I felt like at $599, it felt like a really good deal. Maybe they feel like, look, we're going to put 7 years of support into this. We need to make a little extra money. Okay, fine. Scalp it off the bottom, whatever. $9.99 for this one instead of $8.99 we had last year. Also, you see the extra little circle on the back here. There's only one on here. That's the LED flash. You have the LED flash here and the temperature sensor, which is mostly a joke. I mean, it's there. They really are going to have to fine-tune it and calibrate it more to make it actually useful right now. Really feels like a gimmick. One other thing, though, is you get dual laser autofocus on this one and only single on here, if you can tell the difference. I mean, there's not a whole lot of a difference there, but where it really matters the most, maybe it might show up some. But same video capabilities, all that great stuff too. 4K 60 on the front, 4K 60 on the back, all that stuff. So, now, I want to talk a little bit more. Oh, also, you see it's got the matte camera bar on here. This one has a shiny one, which is actually obstructed by the case. I take the case on and off, because whenever I put it up here on the video, I don't know why my camera does not like this color and the silver bar for the camera bar. It reflects back and it makes my camera look kind of yellow. So you can see here, I kind of wish they went with the matte on both. I mean, I get the shiny one. I think it makes it feel a little bit more premium, but I've heard some people complaining about it being able to scratch easily. I have not experienced that, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility. Like, I don't doubt that at all. So, which one should you get? Well, do you care about camera capabilities? Because if you really want to have the full complement of cameras, telephoto, and then also the upgraded ultra wide. Oh, one cool thing. I didn't realize it, but this one actually works. It does macro shots. With the last year's ultra wide, it still does macro shots. So they both do macro shots. I wasn't expecting it. I went in and I was like, why is it telling me macro is off? I was messing with the camera. I went to the settings. Lo and behold, it has macro capabilities. And I haven't heard anybody talk about that. I don't know if everybody just glossed over that or assumed that it wasn't there, but yeah, it has macro photography, so that's actually something I really like. Honestly, in many cases, I'd rather have a macro camera than a telephoto because you can always do a digital zoom to some extent, but you can't get those close-up shots. And I complained about this with the Pixel 6, Pixel 7. The offset distance and the near focus field on the primary cameras really left a lot of blurry stuff up front around the edges and some fringe zoom stuff. So I felt like it really needed it. So the fact that you can do macro with that and you can get your close-up shots if you need to, very happy about that. And I think you will be too. So battery life, I think is all day for both. And it's funny because I was reading some other reports and stuff because you do get the 5,000 milliamp battery here, but if you turn it down to 1080p, you're going to get a very comparable experience because, yeah, the only real big difference is the screen size and also the brightness. 2,000 nits, 2,400 nits maximum brightness. So happy that Google turned up the brightness on these phones because for the longest time, they had really dim screens. Even when they were turned up, they felt like they were dimmer than all the competition. So very happy about that. The screens are beautiful. They're gorgeous. And I really enjoy using the phones. So one other thing is they both have flat screens this year. No more curved edge display in the Google department. So you're going to get that complete full real estate experience, which is nice. And yeah, it's supposed to be supported for 7 years. That's pretty crazy. So I don't think there's a whole lot of negatives about the difference between the two phones because of the $300 price difference. There's no video out on either one. Yeah, that's kind of frustrating. And maybe it'll get unlocked at some point. I watched some stuff. Some folks are saying that it actually is capable of it, but Google has it turned off. So maybe that means they're working on something special. That would be really nice. And also, when we get the video boost later this year, only the video boost, it's only going to be available for the Pixel 8 Pro, not the Pixel 8, which, hey, I don't have any problems with that. Pro feature, $300 extra. You got to cut some stuff somewhere. And I think that that's pretty fair to cut off. I don't think a lot of people are really going to be buying the smaller 2-camera Pixel 8 and trying to be able to use like video boost and things like that. So I think it's fair enough that there are some changes. This isn't like the difference between the iPhone 15 Pro and the Pro Max. These are like comparing the S23 and the S23 Ultra. And really, I think the resounding criticism is that the Tensor G3 has turned out to be a really good chip, all-day battery life, and it's capable. And of course, you get the AI features and all that stuff that's very good with Google. So if you want to have a good experience and you don't want to spend the extra $300, you don't care about the telephoto or the temperature sensor or video boost, or being able to export to RAW or shooting in full resolution 50 megapixel, this is probably going to work pretty darn good for you. Also disappointing, no bay blue color in the Pixel 8. It's only available in the 8 Pro, which also you get obsidian and porcelain. The three best colors are definitely in the Pro. I feel like the colors are not so great in the 8 this year, but I went ahead and I got like the charcoal black one. I can't remember exactly the name, but I've been enjoying the phone regardless because it's so nice to be able to have flagship level performance in a smaller, easy, one-handed form factor. Definitely get a case for it, and this is the one I use, the Liquid Air Armor or whatever from Spigen. I've been buying these for my Pixel phones for years. They're like 15 bucks. You can get them on Amazon lots of times, next day shipping. Good case, and it works well. It complements the phone. It doesn't make it too heavy, anything like that, not too bulky. So that's kind of my assessment and synopsis of the two phones. Day-to-day value using both of them. They're nice, they're snappy, plenty of pickup, plenty of get up and go. You can do casual, moderate gaming with no problems. It's really not a gaming phone, but with the level of power it has, you can play even AAA titles, but it's just not going to be able to run it as like an Asus Republic of Gaming or maybe the S23 Ultra with the special Snapdragon 8 Generation 2 for Samsung chip clocked at 3.36 gigahertz. Plus, all that stuff gets optimized for Samsung and the Snapdragon, not necessarily optimized for Android 14 yet. Android 14, better than ever. I think that it's been a really good, nice, smooth experience for me so far. And I've been really happy with both of them. And this one was sent to me. This is a Team Pixel sent to me phone. I bought this one. This is Team My Wallet. And I want to talk about this one. I generally talk about the lesser phone more often because, one, it's a better price point. A lot of people don't want to spend $1,000 for a phone. And it just gives you so much of what you would want in the Pro Series phone, but in this nicer, smaller form factor. You still get the new camera that we've got here, which I really like. I think it is an improvement. Better in low light, removes some of the noise, and it really feels like it captures some good photos. So, by and large, if you were worried about it and you were worried if you're going to miss out if you didn't get the Pro, I don't think that's the case. I think that Google's done a good job balancing the feature sets between these two phones to give you what you would expect out of a Pro Series phone, and then really giving you a lot of what you would like to have in a non-Pro Series phone without a lot of the compromises. So, like I said, there are a few things that irk me, which I've talked about in this video, but by and large, yeah, I think really lines up with your interest, whichever one you want to get. Sadly, at this point, at this juncture, the trade-in values on the Pixel 7 and the Pro are dirt. They're terrible. So I made a video talking yesterday about kind of how to work that in your favor. Google always, without fail, will drop the price on these things for Black Friday, holiday shopping. I can't guarantee that, but I would look for that. If you want to buy one, wait around and see what we get Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Thanksgiving week sales. Typically, you'll get a price drop. They'll bring the deals back and things like that because they do like the feast-famine approach where they're like, okay, it looks like a good deal, and then they take it away, and you're like, no, I should have got one. And then they'll bring it back a little bit later, and they just kind of play that tug-of-war game. The deals are going to come back. I am almost certain of that because they want to sell these. They want to move these phones. And I think that if you can work it out with a good trade-in deal, get it the price you're happy at, I think that both of these phones really are very competitive. And they're going to work for years, 7 years of operating system updates and security patches. So really wanted to talk about some of that stuff in a video, in a nutshell, and give you my thoughts on both of them after having been using these phones for over a week. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.